Hail the Fellowship on a victorious defeat of Amazon's The Rings of Power. Now, what was the condition that the Tolkien estate gave Amazon? Let's get into it.
Viewer discretion is advised.
The Tolkien estate let Amazon create the Rings of Power under one strict condition. The article opens up saying that some fans were upset, but many others absolutely loved it. And the season 2 will come out in 2 years. Well, let's see what the ratings were on Rotten Tomatoes. Oof, 39%. Now, all of these studios always talk about review bombing. Ask yourself this: who has more incentive to bomb the reviews, either positive or negatively? Is it a fan who's willing to waste time and money on a bot farm, or is it a massive corporation? I'll let you decide. It is the law of diminishing returns. See, the Rings of Power's viewership was in the dumpster by the end, which means when season 2 comes out, that's going to be half of what it was at the end of the first season, which isn't good. That's why I see this show lasting maybe 3 seasons, and then they're just going to cancel it. They then go in about the Second Age, how Tolkien really didn't talk about it too much in his books, well, according to them, and how it lasted over 3,000 years. And how the show's going to condense that 3,000 years into just a span, probably 5 to 10 years. And now we get to the showrunners, JD and Patrick McKay, who were so excited, apparently, to work on a series of Lord of the Rings. And by the way, they're both completely talentless hacks who were in way over their head. And the show paid for it, too. They never should have been the showrunners. They also mentioned Tom Shippey, the Tolkien scholar, who said the show had a lot of freedom because of the change of scenery, but it must not affect the established canon. Nothing can contradict Tolkien's work, which they failed. Oh, they also blame COVID. I know you're all upset. And finally, but please don't be a Karen drill. And finally, what was the condition? Prime Video, the one condition that Amazon had to follow in order to be approved by the Tolkien estate, was to not contradict the Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit. Now, they say the Peter Jackson trilogies. I would assume also the books, which, by the way, they failed miserably. Now let's go over some of the more glaring reasons why they contradicted the entirety of The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. Well, to start off, jamming hobbits. Well, they call them Heartfoots because they don't have the rights to the hobbits, but jamming these little freaks into your story where they're murderous and they're just evil. They're easily the most evil thing in Middle-earth, or the Heartfoots. Also the most annoying and useless in the entire story. Giving Galadriel only one brother instead of 3, putting her in armor to fight orcs, which is something she didn't do because it's useless for a queen. Sending Galadriel to Numenor, a place she had never went before. Taking away her husband, Celeborn, which in turns means she doesn't have a daughter, which then in turns mean Erwin doesn't exist, which is a huge problem. You shoved a wizard into the Second Age, which wizards didn't come until 1,000 years into the Third Age. You forged the Elven Rings first. By the way, they look like ring pops. And they turned Sauron into an incel. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Until next time.